Everyone, we have had a lot of questions about this assignment, so I just wanted to give the solution. So let's take a look here. We have two styles, button and button over. And down here, you'll notice that we have one button that has a style applied and one button, and then 4 buttons that do not have the style applied. So first thing we need to do is create a script. All right. Now we need to start doing some adding handlers. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Just kidding. We don't need event handlers to start. First thing we need to do is change the buttons and give them IDs. So let's do that. ID equals button 01. Whoops, sorry. ID is going to be button 02. ID is going to be button 03. ID is going to be button 04. And ID is going to be button 05. All right, cool. So now we have to do our event handlers. But remember, we want the event handler to run after the page has loaded. So what we're going to do? Well, we're going to create a function called init, or initialization. We just say init. That will do all of our work for us. So we'll do function init. Okay, so now there's our function. Before we can do event handlers, we need to identify our objects, our ID buttons. So it should be something like this, like button 01 equals document dot get element by ID. What element by ID? And that's button 1. We'll save that. And now we do that for each of them. Now in some of the that you guys have emailed me with your questions, some of you forgot to actually change this part right here. Oh, that should be 01. This becomes 01. This becomes 02. Some of you didn't change that part. Copy that. Button 3. Button 4. 3, 4. And button 5 becomes button 5. Cool. All right, so now that we have defined our variables, button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, now we start adding our event handlers. So let's go ahead and save it. And now what we should be able to do is add our first handler, which is button 01 dot on mouse over. It's over. Equals function blah blah. Then what we want it to do. In this case, what we do, I gave the hint down here. Element.className equals class name. Of course, that's not the actual code. Instead, what we want to do is element becomes button 01 dot class name equals what class name? Button over. Great. And now we want to do one on mouse out. Equals function. Sorry. Dot button. Let's save that. Now we should be able to try it. It didn't work at all. Why didn't it work at all? Of course it didn't work because we didn't load the init. Let's try it one more time. Save, go. There you go. Look at that. Mouse over, mouse out, mouse over, mouse out. Okay, great. And so the mouse out does the same thing. A little note I put in there. And we can now do this for all of our buttons. I'm going to put it all in one line just to make it easier for us. You don't have to do that, it's just easier to look at. Oops, that's inits. Okay. So we do 2, 2, 2, and 2. Save it. Run it. Now 2 doesn't want to do anything because it already has its style set, so let's undo that style because the background was set, so let's just get rid of that. So there's 1 and 2. So you can just go ahead and carry that all the way through to 3. So that's how you do a rollover. You can do the same thing if you remember from one of the lessons. You can do it with images. You can do it with styles. It's just a really nice way to add some micro interactions to your JavaScript pages.